Okay, good morning. So we're starting a new siman, siman kuf pei daled. Says the Mechaber, Mi she'achol b'makom echad. Someone who eats in one place, tzarich levarech kodim sheyakem koma. He needs to bench. We're talking about bircha. He's eating a bread meal, and he needs to bench before he leaves that place, before he's oikem koma. Says the Rabbi, Ein le'el siman kuf ayin ches, which we've discussed this previously. And if he leaves that place and he hasn't benched, if he left that place on purpose, he's got to go back to the place where he ate to bench. But if he benches in the place where he remembers, then he's yotza. Says the Ramah, V'dafka ledas harambam. This is all the shit of the Rambam. Avledas harosh tzrilei da'af b'shegi yachsa. The Rosh is even stricter and says that even if he leaves he left there b'shegeg, still yachsalim koma lechatchila, he should go back to the place where he ate to bench there. B'mezid af b'diavad lot liotza, because and b'mezid even b'diavad is lot yotza. If he intentionally left that place without benching, then even b'diavad, if he benches in that new place, is not yotza. He's got to go back. Continues the Mechaber, v'im hoy b'shegeg. If, however, he left the place b'shegeg, l'harambam yivarech b'makom shenizka, then according to the Rambam, he should just bench wherever he remembered. Or the Rav Rabbi Yoin the Varosh, gamu yachsel imkomi v'varech. He also, even if it was b'shegeg, he should go back to the original place. Okay, let's see the Mishnah Berurah. Kodim sheyakar. So again, when a person eats, he should definitely bench where he ate, and he should not be oike raglov. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Sif Katan Aleph, or Mipina Lapina, if he goes from one corner of the room to another, he hasn't actually been oike the actual mokum, but he's just moving around within that room. Afilu habayis gadol, even if it's a large home, muta, that's allowed. Afilu b'she'ein ro'eh mekom harishon, kagoyin acharei ha'paravan kiyotzi bozeh, which is like a mechitzas eitz, right there, he says at the bottom there. So if in one house, if he goes from one side of the house to another side, and even if he can't see the original place, that's okay. If there was a problem benching in the room where he ate, he can go next door, in the room next door to bench, if he can see the place where he ate. But if he intended to do that at the outset, to eat in one place and then to bench in another room, after the he can be makel in a shas atchak. For example, he says, so for example, let's say there's a child who soiled itself in that first room. So if he goes to another room, that's considered a shas atchak, and that would be okay. All right. So he should sarich levarich before he's oikim imkaimai. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Sifkat Beis, v'chol arba amas, and anything within 4 amas, which is approximately 6 to 8 feet, 2 meters or whatever, mimakum achilos choshev makom echad, is all considered one place. V'yuchel lahatik mimkoima alidei meniya katana, and he's allowed to move place if there's some sort of problem that he needs to move. That would be okay. All right, yachsel imkoimai. So the Mechaber said that if he didn't b'mezid, he moves on from the place where he ate, then he's got to be chayzel imkoimai. Says Mishnah Berurah, Sif Katan Gimel, afilu kvar holach b'derech l'meiracha kama milin, even if he's quite far into his journey. Im loishu rocha kol kach she'at sheyachzal imkoimai yisakel hamozon v'yafsid b'rchosel legamri yivarech kan. Unless by the time he gets back to the place where he ate, his food would have been digested, which is the she'ichel, which means his birchas hamozon is no longer an option. It's too late, so then he should bench where he is. Otherwise, he'll miss out on birchas hamozon. So if he was oikem imkoma b'mezid, then he's got to bench wherever he remembered. But if he didn't, in berech b'makom shenizka is yotza. Says Mishnah Berurah yotza. Hainu afilu hay b'mezid b'akrosi. Even if he was oiker b'mezid, but still b'diavad is yotza. The gam hazid atza b'bracha. He's mazid now with the bracha dahainu sheyoda hadin. He knows the halach. He should have gone back. However, but he was lazy, didn't want to go back. Still, nonetheless, he is yotza b'diavad. Now that is all the shitta of the Rambam. Says the Mishnah Berurah, that's a Rambam. The Rambam holds that dafka b'mezid he has to go back. But if it's b'shegeg, he can actually bench wherever he remembered. It's dafka b'mezid, he should go back. Aval ledas harosh, daf b'shegeg tzarich lechatchila lachzim koimai. But the Rosh holds no, even if he left b'shegeg, he made a mistake, he should still go back to his place, ideally. Mistabra de b'mezid machmir and tfei, af b'diavad lo yotza. And what's the difference, according to the Rosh, between mezid and shegeg? The difference is this, that if he left b'mezid, that even b'diavad is not yotza. If he left b'sheigeg, then b'diavad is yaitze. In halacha, what is the halacha? His schema achrenim to ein tzarich lachzor levarich afilu hoyem mezid balichel b'bracha kanal b'sif koton dalet. So what emerges is that if a person ate, had a bread meal, really just bench there and then. Do not be oike mekoimei. But if for whatever reason he went and he moved to a different location, then ein so the maskana of the achrenim is ein tzarich lachzor levarich. He doesn't have to go bench back in the new place. He can just bench where he is. It's better to go back to the original place, but you don't have to.
So laziness comes under that.
Yes, yeah. Yevarich b'makom shenizkar, or mikol makom says Mishum receive cotton vov gam l'de'azuim choza harizem m'shuch. But of course, if he can, he should go back to the original place to bench there. That's praiseworthy. Ela de'ena mechuyev b'dov. It's not mechuyev to go back to the original place. Okay, so that's important halacha to know. That when you eat a meal, a bread meal, bench where you ate. If for whatever reason you didn't, Machlokes Rambam and Rosh, if you did it b'mezid or not, according to the Rambam, if you did it b'mezid, you got to go back, and according to Rosh, even if you did it b'shegeg. But that's only lechatchila. But the maskon of the achronim is that you can bench wherever you are, but it's preferable to go back to the original place. Yachsab L'Mkomi Vorech, just finishing off the Mishnah Berurah, you've gotten Zion. For Kosu Achronim, D'chein Nog Linig L'Maisa, Im Lo Shoshaz HaTchag. That ideally you should go back to the place to bench there, unless there's a difficult reason not to. For the Oz Yochel Lismech Asvar Rishayna, like we said. Okay, base. Now, B'med Var Mamurim, when is the above true? I.e., that you go back to the original place, etc. But She'ein Lo Pas Od, where you haven't got any more bread. This is a very useful life hack. Avalim Yesh Lo Pas Od, but if you've got another sandwich, you've got another piece of bread, then you can eat in your new location, continue your meal there. So in other words, say for example you had lunch, you're on a tiul or whatever, and then you move on. It's half an hour later, you're still within the 72 minutes or the time where the food is not yet digested, whatever time that is, and you're still not hungry. Then, rather than having to go back to the original place, you can just have another slice of bread, and then you can bench there. That's what it's saying. So long as you're still, you're still sort of satiated. But once you're hungry again, we'll see soon, then your Birchas HaMazon is too late. Yochel Makom Shein, he says in Mishnah Berurah, you've gotten Zion. Va'afilu b'mezid, even if you moved on b'mezid, ma'hani nani hani takana sheyochel kan past of mut, you can have a bit more bread. Ve'ein tzarich levarich tchila birchas hamoitzi. You don't need to make a new hamoitzi on this second piece of bread, the second eating. Ve'lo birchas hamazon al mashek va'achal, nor do you need to make a birchas hamazon on what you've already eaten. Va'acha achilas pas shebekan yivarich birchas hamazon. Now, after the second eating, you've had another piece of bread, now you make birchas hamazon, and that will count for what you had now and what you had previously. Ma'at, how much do you have to have? Ma'at, hainu, afilu pachas mikazais, even a little bit. The mikol mokum mitzdarv zeh lachila, she'achal mokum rishon, because at the end of the day, the eating now, even if it's a small amount, is mitzdarv to what you've had previously, and it combines the two, and now you can make a birchas hamazon on both. But so long as you ate bread in the second place, but just like dessert type foods, even if you had a kazayis of them, loy mahani, it's not going to help. However, so long as you're not hungry, because if you're hungry, then you've blown it. It's too late. Because how long have you got to bench? Until whilst you're still full, you've got a bench. But if you're hungry again, you've blown it. And now you've got a new obligation. If you moved on, it's 45 minutes later, and you're hungry again, so then you've not only lost the birchas hamazon of the previous eating, you've got to make a new hamoitzi on the new eating. So you've got to make sure that you bench before the shir kadei ichel, as we're going to see soon. Okay, Gimel. Yeisha imrim shekol shivas haminim tu'nim bracha la'achrei mim kaimon. So too, not only birchas hamazon, but also Ber Pragofen, Shivas Aminim. All the Shivas Aminim, right? So whether that's Mazonis or whether that's fruit from Eretz Yisrael, except from the Shivas Aminim, dates, grapes, etc. You need to go make a bracha in the place where you ate. Others say no, it's dafka mazonis. So we've discussed this previously. So the Mishnah Berurah says have a dinner commercial cost of sif alef and base. Fa'ain le'el siman kufay ches sif hevi shesham hevi harav oit shitza shlishis to dafka pas. Well, the Indian dinner, the halacha is, what does it apply to? Cost of sham hagrod the ikka kadei rishona to chameshes mini dogim chashivi kapasin in zev aymash kasav the Mishnah Berurah. So really, when it comes to mazonos, you should go back to the place where you ate it. If you look in the first paragraph of Dalet, he quotes Achronim. He says "Lachatchil yesh lehachmir levarich b'mkoyim le'achachil shivas haminim" as well. Any of the shivas haminim, you should really go back. V'chenim shines mekoyim be'emtza achila ein tzarich levarich aleim bracha rishona v'fi shedinim kedina pas. And according to the Gan, is shivas haminim kadash is kedin shah peres. Okay.
That implies that if you go, we just learned that you have to have pas. What happens if you don't have?
So if you have a mazonis, you're having a croissant, you're having a cake.
If you have pas, and then you go and it's 45 minutes later you're somewhere else.
Yeah.
We just learned you have to have pas. But why? Now we're learning you can have mazonis as well.
No, so for pas for the brichas hamazon, you need to have a bit more bread for the second place. But if in the first place you had some mazonas, really you should go back to the first place to finish off. And then, even for mazonas, that's what I'm saying.
But mazonis won't help you.
Correct. Yeah, he says that mafurish. Yeah, that mazonas won't help you in the bread to continue the bread meal. Right. Yeah. Dalet. Ochal ve'en yodei berich brichas hamazon lav. Famous halacha. You eat, and you're not sure did you bench or not. You've got to bench misofek, sofek the raisa lechumra, and therefore, if you're not sure whether you benched or not, you need to bench. The whole lot. Af bracha revius she'enem min drabonon. In order that you're not mezalzel, misofek v'gam yochel lahitzi la'achar she'achal shleberach. Not only that, you can even be moitzi somebody else. In other words, it's a proper benching. This is Rabbi Kiva Eigen has in Hazagos v'chein kosav b'tshuvas imevov v'chein kosav b'ksav sofer mipnei shehi min ha'Torah. Now that's v'davka k'shesova. V'davka if you're full. To iloi sova l'rov ha'poskim midrabonon, because it says in the pasuk v'chalta v'sovato, and if you're not full, then it's not a doraisa benching. ומכל מקום רואה לירא שמיים ונסתפק עם ברך אלוהי, אפילו שלא אכל כזייס, שיתל יודו ויברך המצה ויאכל כזייס ויברך ברכס המוזן. In other words, when there is a chiyuv deraisa, you've got to go back. Sofik deraisa lechumra. But what is the sofik deraisa? When you're surveyor. So after Shabbos lunch, you had a large meal, Friday night or whatever it may be. Did I bench? Did I not bench? Then for sure you've got to go and bench again. Sofik deraisa lechumra. If, however, you didn't eat kadei svir, you just had a sandwich and you're not full, satiated, but you had something small, so then mikadin you don't need to, because it's not a deraisa according to Rov Poskim. However, the Yirei Shemaim should just have a bit more bread, have a bit more bread, and to get to the point where you should, if you have a kazayas of bread, then you've definitely got a chiyuv to bench again, and that will take away his sofek. Okay, Hey and Vav is quite short. All right, no, I think we probably should leave it there. Well, Mr. Shem will do Hey and Vav tomorrow. Okay, see you later.